Thank you so much for staying tuned. Right now, I want to focus on the price tag of nomination forms and political parties. Talking about the presidency, talking about the governorship, the House of Assembly, the House of Rep, you just name it. Particular political party says it pegged the price of nomination form for 100,000 naira for the ruling party. Why for the PDP it should be 50 or 40 thereabout. Talk about millions right now. Anyway, just join us right now in the studio. He's a legal practitioner, a political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Barrister Matthias Obayowana. Barrister, welcome to TMI.
Thank you, Thank you.
All right. And we still have Barrister Robinson Imade, two legal practitioners, to really share their thoughts and opinions about this particular topic. I want to start off with Barrister Matthias Obayowana. What do you feel about the price tag on presidential nomination forms of the APC and, of course, the PDP?
Well, for price tag running to millions, hundreds of millions, of naira for candidates to pick nomination form, it therefore puts to question the fight against corruption in this country. If a candidate who is expressing an interest to fly the flag of a political party, which is a platform to stand upon to contest an election, will pay hundreds of millions just to pick that nomination form, what would you expect of the expenses that will go into the election proper? And at the end of the day, for such who have spent billions of naira in an election, when he eventually wins, what do you expect him to do when he gets to office? Is he really there to serve the people? Or he will be there to recoup all that he has put into it and also make some profit from it? So that is why the treasury is always being looted. They will tell you that they don't have money to run the government, to pay salaries and provide infrastructures for the people that they are coming to serve. But they have those monies to settle those debts that they have run into in trying to get into office. So it puts into question the fight against corruption, because they are eventually, encouraging corruption.
All right.
You are not even asking now the source of the funding. Where are these persons getting this money from? What is the kind of job that you do? Where will you get that money from? So they're just encouraging it. So if this war against corruption, it becomes a huge joke. Government will encourage it, political parties will encourage it, parents and relations will all encourage it. Somebody is in office, you want to get some largesse from that person. How much is that person's take-home pay?
Okay.
So it's abhorrent.
It's abhorrent.
Yes.
Okay.
For them to put such
and you're saying that it's like making mockery
of the fight against corruption. Yes.
Do you share his views and opinions?
Well, if there is still fight against corruption, then this is a big blow.
For real, if there is still fight, of course, there's still the fight is still raging on.
How is the fight raging on when people who are convicted of corruption are granted pardon? How is the fight raging on if, like you said, a political party can say, a ruling party that will pick a form for the presidential election, you pay 100 million naira? I want to look at it from two dimensions. I agree in total that if they still fight against corruption, this is a big blow to that fight. Again, it shows how our government has run our economy. Would anybody have been able to get 100 million naira in 1979, even in 1999? Today, we call millions like melons. At the end of the day, how much is this 100 million actually? If people promise us that 1 naira will become $1, before their very eyes, under their leadership, we now have $1 becoming 700 naira. And so, what's the value of the 100 million? Besides, we also make mockery of all that we represent politically. In 2019, we passed the not too young to run bill into law. And today you are saying that you want to encourage young people, you want to encourage women, you want to encourage the people living with disabilities, and you are saying that they must have 100 million, how many youths can afford even 10 million? Are we now saying that those who have the ability to govern will be only those who have big bank accounts, or have been able to loot the treasury in the past? Is granted enough to young to run law in one hand and withdrawing it by this amount to buy just nomination forms. In the 70s, in 1979 to 83, I acted very prominently in the UPN Youth Wing. And I know then that every month party members pay party dues. By the time you get your nomination, you become the problem of the party. The party sponsors you. Today, you buy form for 100 million, 40 million, and the likes, depending on where you are going to. After getting the nomination, you now begin to sponsor yourself. You spend other hundreds of millions to ensure that you win.
Right.
And we have a situation where nobody is able to contest as independent candidates. So we are mortgaging the leadership of this country only to the highest bidder.
Okay. All right. Now, some of you know that this is like a screening process, knowing fully well that so many persons are like interested, especially in the ruling party. What do you have to say about that, to weed out some persons?
It is not, you see, if it's a screening process, that means money back politics that has been a throne. So if you have money, that means you are more qualified. So what the criteria for the screening? You should look at credibility of the candidates. You should look at the antecedent of the candidates. You should look at what they have done in the past and what they have to forecast what they can do in the future. Academic qualification, what they have to bring on the table, what they can do differently from what is being done now to put Nigeria in the limelight and the position of the economy of this country. That is what the idea that person is bringing on the table should be the basis for the screening. Now you are screening somebody based on your deep pocket, or how much do you have. So if you have a billion van, there you are fit to run. If you do not have it, you have the ideas, you are not coming to come and loot, you want to come and truly serve the people, then you are not qualified. So that would be a total misplacement of priority for them to say that it's a basis to screen out some persons. Like my senior colleague has said here, the colleague, that the fact that you made a bill and say they're not too young to run. So when you expect an average Nigerian youth, who perhaps have not been given employment and whatever it is, but they have the ideas, they have the energy, to put into service. They are going to get 100 million from to come and collect from. So if the person who is robust with idea and everything and is able to run to represent this nation, he should go and steal to bring 100 million to you to come and pay the ticket, or should go and borrow the money. If you go to borrow the money, you don't think that you will pay that money back when you get into office. Are you not thereby encouraging corruption? So it is completely wrong. That's why the whole essence of the amendment that was being sought in the Constitution, even though it came in belatedly, like I said in my presentation, that it is difficult to really accomplish it. Now election is around the corner. If they have made a constitution and say and allow people to run independently, all of these things will be a thing of the past. Like it has already noted now. Even when you come into the bill ticket and you come into office, you are still on your own. You are still going to finance it by yourself. You are still going to pay even the so-called party delegates. You are still going to give them money. You are going to put them in the hotel. You are going to find a way of getting them, encouraging them, whatever name you call it, which is still corruption. You are using them financially to come and vote for you. By the time they are even not coming there, you are still going to have them to go to the various grassroots to go and call for vote. The same way, going to spend money all this way. So that's why the ESCC or every security agency should do their searchlight on everyone. You have 100 million to bring to come and buy ticket. You should start from that point. Where did you get this money from? Right. What is your source, of income? Even those who are in government, how much is the approved salary for a governor or for a vice president or for a president? All they keep relying upon is that security vote. This is kind of a fraud that nobody can even show accountability for. Okay. So you dip your finger into that place to begin to enrich yourself. All right. How much is your salary? Can you not get out 100 million to come and pick tickets? before you talk about even the experience of winning the election. So the criteria is completely wrong.
Okay, that's
that is the base of a screening out candidate.
Okay, now talking about the not too young to run bill that was passed into law. According to the cable, it said the All Progressives Congress, APC, has approved 50% reduction in the price of nomination forms for individuals under 40 years of age. That means you're supposed to pay 100 million naira for nomination form as a president. If you are below 40, you can pay 50 million. No, 50 million.
50%.
50% reduction. I mean, so what do you feel about that? And it goes down to all offices.
Too much.
I'm not excited about that.
Still too much.
What about 50% splash?
Where we
50 million, you know what that is?
Average youth get 50 million naira. How much was their nomination form in the last election? The election before then, how much was it? It's a way of, like you said, weeding out even those who have the ideas, the ability, the capability, the youthfulness, and all others. It's a coup against the young ones. It makes no sense of the not too young to run at.
Despite the slash in price.
Yes, 15 million naira, 20 million, 10 million to
just to keep the nomination form.
It does not guarantee you that nomination. No talk of guaranteeing you election, success in the election. When you talk about going to borrow an average person who at best has beautiful ideas, 50 million to contest an election is not sure. We are not serious about what we want in this country. This situation tells me that the political class made up of the elderly and the elderly, the old politicians, recycling themselves over the years, have now hijacked fully the process. Nobody will even contest against them unless you are one of them. Being one of them means having the financial muscles, having billion banks, having millions of naira. That wasn't the way. When the leader, I don't want to mention his name, of the APC ran and won in Lagos State, how much did he have at the time? Somebody now comes out, a politician, a public figure, to say, I am richer than a full state. We want to encourage such persons to remain in power, they and their likes, by now weeding out people who have more stake in the country because they have more years, they have children to bring up and everything in the system. Today we are saying only those who have financial muscles, only those who have cheated or looted this country can continue with the political process as far as leadership is concerned. Right. And leadership has been mortgaged, it has been sold by this country. And I'm surprised that even all the parties are following the same, perhaps because
no, for the PDP is less than between 40-50 million. 40
million we are talking about. It means 40,000. It is 40 million.
It's million.
It is far less, but it is still way above the average Nigerian. What is the minimum wage?
All right.
Now,
hold on now. Because if you take a look at the breakdown for the people under 40, let's say for the government candidate, will not pay 25 million naira to purchase the form, and instead of 15 million for the House of Representatives, will not pay 5 million, and why for the Senate hopeful they will just pay 10 million, 50% slash. At least can't the youth vie for this position with less amount of money, Barrister Matthias?
I think it's a self-indictment, of the bastardization of the economy. The government by themselves have owned up by whatever is going on, or that they are so bastardized the economy. The value of the naira have been so reduced to nothing. If you don't see anything wrong with that 50 million, 100 million, like he said, millions, it must sound like melons, right? As if one go to the market and buy, give me a cup of melon to make a goosey soup. So maybe you can buy it with maybe 50 naira or 10 naira, like so the value of that currency has been reduced to nothing. So you don't see that money as anything anymore. So people can even talk about it. Otherwise, 50 million is a huge sum of money that could do a lot. So where will you expect the youth to get that kind of money from? So I refuse to shift my ground that it is an encouragement, of corruption. You want to encourage corrupt individuals to come into office. Because you don't expect any reasonable human being to enter office and don't spend so much money and not make returns. And where is just coming out for the public treasury? And by the time somebody takes some money from the treasury and they are being tried and convicted, before they finish serving their term, they will be granted pardon. It's only the common man, the stupid politician, who can serve, who can still maybe be served 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, whatever it is, for stealing anything. Nobody to cry, nobody to help him. The way those politicians, they know themselves, when they steal, politicians of their kind will come and take them out and grant them pardon. So that's what they are doing. So it becomes a vicious circle, which will never come to an end. So we are actually expecting a change, a genuine change in this country, to ensure that people will truly come into office to come and serve the people and actually deliver democracy to the people. That dream will be a mirage. It's not a thing that is going to come to pass with the way they are going, because they will keep settling themselves in office. So they encourage me to go and get so much money to come and pick the nomination form. Now after which I will not pay all other expenses to run for the election. And by the time I now enter that office, will I be a fool to sit back and not recoup my expenses? But if you make it easy for everyone to come, or this is what you have to offer, not your deep pocket. And at the end of the day, I'm not coming to office and I take £1, I could be crucified for that.
Okay,
yeah. So they are encouraging corruption by what they are doing.
Now let's take a look at it from this angle. You get to hear some of them saying, my friends came together and they purchased this form from me. You've heard it. One aspirant said it. Not even one.
So that the next we're not going to ask them where you get the money from.
Since they have group of persons that gather money and purchase form for them, does it mean that they will dip hands in their pocket to get this money? After all, they have sponsors from here.
It's wrong.
Well, let's look at it from this angle. APC, you said, has slashed the money by 50%.
If you are below 40.
For people below 40. How many of, we know many of the aspirants under the APC. How many of them are below 40?
Are you asking me the question?
Who is below 40? I don't know. It means that they have checked. Nobody will be qualified to
financially
50% discount.
They
are all old people, older, more than 50, 60, 70, and the likes. And so, okay, let us put it. Why would they say people who are below 50? There is no aspirant in the APC who is below 40 years old. That is one. Then you talk about people coming into office, they will recoup what they have spent. What is the total salary for 4 years of the president of Nigeria? It's below 100 million. And so to get a job of below
100 million,
below 60 million, you pay 100 million to buy your form. You go spend more than another 100 or 200 million to win the election. At the end of the day, who is the fool and who are they fooling? We know that if you go there, the country will bleed again financially. And that is what our leaders in both the APC, PDP, and other political parties want, so that this country will not survive for the young ones. Talking about a group of friends buying phone, nobody is fooled by such sayings. I won't be surprised if Tinubu says that.
I wouldn't want to mention names right now, please. There are reasons for that.
Okay. Somebody could buy phone from me.
If the leader of the APC, national leader of the APC, will come out and say, oh, I didn't have the money this time around. Okay, that one does not even hide his wealth. It's the source that we don't understand. So all other aspirants were coming to say, oh, our friends, our political structure, from the grassroots to the uppermost rung of the ladder, they collected money to buy phone for me. Who is going to also give such people money to run the campaigns for them? There is no way we look at it. It's a way of encouraging corruption. It's a way of telling the world, telling Nigerians that we have bastardized the economy. Your naira is no longer of any value, and so 100 million is small. 50 million is small.
Yes.
PDP is saying 40 million. To them, it's small. But how does the bastardization of the naira affect the civil servants, affect the common man on the street, affect the market women? They don't bother.
All right.
For so long as they are able, through this means, to continue to recycle themselves. I saw in the papers this morning, they say all the aspirants in the APC, one of them will be endorsed by Buhari. How did we get here? The level of one person saying, this is who I want, and we all queue behind him.
That is why they fought against that inclusion in the Electoral Act to allow for direct primary. Say no, allow to decide how we want to run it so that they can begin to manipulate the electoral process.
Thank you.
And bring people.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Our time is completely up. 30 seconds, please, to summarize your point in this particular situation. 100 million for a party, 40 million for another party. 30 seconds each. What do you feel about this, Mr. Matthias? You take the first.
Well, I will encourage every political party. If these two, if the APC and the PDP have decided to go this way, I will encourage others not to follow them along this line. They should make the ticket free. So that they can actually screen,
make it free.
Yes, make it free.
Okay.
So they can actually screen some people who are really ready to serve. Not because you are coming. When you make it free, you are able to create the base for screening to select the best candidates, the truly altruistic and patriotic Nigerians who want to contest election. Let the best come forward.
Thank you.
I'm not the deep pocket or billion van.
Thank you so much, Barrister Matthias. Thank you so much. Barrister Robinson, please, 30 seconds.
I believe that even if other smaller parties give money to their aspirants to collect the form, say we're paying for you, they will not muzzle enough power to wrestle power from the two major parties. Maybe we should add that. What should happen is everybody, every Nigerian who means well for this country should continue to bemoan, to continue to condemn this act.
All right.
It's a way of selling our collective future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Corruption.
Calm down, gentlemen. Calm down.
We all calm
If you
down.
have 100 million, 50 million, 40 million.
I'm sure you have somebody so much money in your account. Exactly.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Well, you tell them they are not in tune with this. Maybe next time I'm going to have sets of youths, maybe Emmanuel and Stars, where they can argue it out again about that amount, 100 million, 50 million, 40 million, slash if you're below 40 and all that. Well, Nigeria is our home. If we want to make it better, we have to do the right thing at the right time for the right reason to get the right result. Their opinions, theirs, it has nothing to do with ITV, but they did their best to follow those regulations governing the airways. That's what someone said. We're saying, if we want to talk about Nigeria, just can't help but to be emotional. But I keep saying, watch your emotions. See you some other time, God willing. Bye for now.